and welcome to episode 202 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
What a wonderful day it is, Jeff Mayo. What a wonderful day for video games.
It's true. It's true.
Like, God is real.
Yep. It's in my notes.
Rejoice, hallelujah.
Finally proof.
How does it feel, my man?
It feels pretty good. It feels pretty excellent.
What can we possibly be referring to, Jeff? Let's not waste any time.
All right.
Let's just jump right into the show.
We're obviously talking about Sora K Kingdom Hearts getting into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the final DLC character.
You just can't write it better.
No, you can't. It's go watch my reaction.
Definitely do that. YouTube.com/nerdsatlarge.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they've already done so much. There's already been so many incredible reactions from us and from everyone else in the world. Like, they're done. Like, they can't have anything that could top what has come before as far as like getting us hyped up. Like, they just don't have anything left. Apparently we're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a case people don't remember this, or I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, all that kind of stuff, and I've said since Ultimate was the hype cycle started, before even Ultimate was revealed, when we were talking about that close to when we started, Banjo and Sora were the two. They were the characters that I wanted the most in Smash Bros. And I didn't think we'd get either of them. Yeah. But the fact that we got both. Crazy.
It's just unreal. I mean, it's so... I mean, it's honestly funny and crazy just how much, I guess, Sakurai and the Smash mindset of putting characters into this game just so directly align with our interests. It's kind of absurd. But it's also, it's not like they just go for the biggest thing to be the biggest thing. They definitely have a preference when they put characters in here, but they just, Sora, there's other bigger characters I guess they could have put in than even Sora.
A character that was rumored kind of close in the last 12 hours leading up to it, because it was apparently a battle bus stationed around Nintendo World, was Fortnite.
Yeah.
So those rumors popped up again, and I'm so happy it wasn't that.
There's a legacy thing that they like. I mean, they definitely like to do that, and there's definitely a JRPG focus and slant and all this or whatever.
But it's a lot of it has to do with the Japanese focus, and a lot of big Japanese games and beloved characters are from JRPGs.
And I think it's perfectly okay to say, and I think it's part of what's made this game and its roster such a just unique, quirky, legendary thing, is that this has Sakurai's blue fingerprints all the hell over it. I mean, this whole game, this whole roster. I mean, yes, there is Steve and stuff that's probably wasn't his number one pick or whatever for just Sakurai or whatever, but there's so many things that if this was just a corporate decision, there would be a lot of these characters would not be in here. I mean,
if it was Nintendo's corporate side, we probably would get Jonesy. If it's just solely up to them. Yeah. But yeah.
I know he's huge, but he might not even get Sephiroth. It's double dipping on Final 7, but I can see Sakurai. There's a lot of things weird Wii Fit Trainer, a bunch of weird things that not necessarily you would have thought of, but I don't know. I mean, and Terry Bogard. No reality would he be at the top 80 something. I don't want to get too far off his Sora, but it's now just looking at this culmination. Yeah, he is all over this game, and I think that is what gives this game the personality that we love over even some other things like Fortnite, which I'm not trying to shit on Fortnite, but it's Fortnite is just pop culture. Get it? It's just pop culture. Well, this feels like a singular man's vision.
It's an interesting thing for the Fortnite v Smash first talking about video game, the greatest crossover thing. I think obviously if you take how big a property is and how many, Fortnite does have that edge, but I would argue Smash is better, and this is because of what it is. Again, that's not me. We're not shitting on Fortnite when we say this, but they are pretty much mostly skins, which they are cool to do, having Master Chief and Kratos on the same screen. That's just inherently cool. But you were saying with Sakurai's fingerprints all over it. The personality and just a lot of times feel like him and his team are taking the character from the game and inserting them into this game.
Yeah,
is unrivaled.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely just it's like our corner of the video game realm. Like it's a corner. Like the discussion can sometimes be exhausting, but I'm pretty happy to be involved with this and this whole marketing cycle. Like he knows what he's doing. He knows there's a whole group of people that do exactly what we do, turn on cameras because whenever a Smash announcement comes, because you're about to lose your shit. There's a very high chance that you're about to go crazy. And like I've seen, so even when it's a Smash character that didn't matter as much to me, I saw like Brent losing his mind for Steve and like all kind of things. Like I love that shit. Like, and I feel like this is a game more than almost any other game where like everyone has had their moments. If you're us, you've had more than one of these moments, and it's just so special.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's sad. Like we really need to soak it in while we can, because I don't think we're ever going to get anything like this again.
Oh no. The Sakurai's pretty much been saying, like, there has not been a talk about this being the final character in the same way. Like he kind of did it with Smash 4, but not to this level. He's just kind of saying it without saying it that he's kind of done, or maybe not done, but if he does come back for Smash, it's not going to be... I mean, he has been saying this. Not to this level, because it's just kind of impossible with all these rights. Like, do we really expect this man to negotiate with Square and Disney and all the, like, again?
I know that we said the same shit after Smash 4, but I think really this time this is... I mean, take it in. Take it in. Well, I mean, this is going to be a game that we're going to be playing till the day we die. And it's like, no matter what a new Smash Bros. Comes, even if it's great, it's just like Ultimate is going to be eternal. At this point,
I hope they figure out a way, like there's something in the contracts to where they can just kind of port it, like just going forward.
But be prepared for that not to be. I mean, I would not be surprised if this is a game that is on Switch and that's it. So like years and years and years and years from now, you still are holding on to your original Switch.
What I am hoping for is, I think it was Tim Geddes, kind of funny, who mentioned this, that they do a complete edition and put it on a cart. That way, if the eShop on Switch goes down, there is a thing with everything on it. Like, legitimately, I might, like, if they did release that, just pick it up, not open it, but just so I have it. Just to be on the safe side.
That's true.
But going back to Sora, I legitimately cannot think of a better, like, obviously I'm biased, but even like looking at that, a better way to end this fighter pass in Smash Ultimate than with this character, partly because Sakurai confirmed Sora won the Smash ballot from Smash 3DS Wii U. Like, they gave all these qualifiers for Bayonetta for why she was the character that was the fighter, the ballot character, but like okay, Sora won, and he seemed happy to like being able to end on, hey, this is what most of you wanted. We gave you what y'all actually want. I mean, and it shows you how far we've come, because like when that came up number one on the poll, I'm sure Nintendo was like, yeah, we wish. Yeah,
well, I wish we could.
Well, the good news is we were talking about it a little bit ago, and there is a chance that ballot in those negotiations led to Cloud and Sephiroth, like both times, like when talking to. Like, well, it's a weird thing. Like, we're keep on talking like Sora as a Square Enix thing, which it is to a point, but it is technically a Disney-owned character. They have to do some stuff to Square Enix, but Disney has all the power in this. But I do think it's fair to say, like, they probably went for Sora's like, this happened. We did this. Like, what can you do? Square like, well, we'll talk to Disney. That's probably a no-go. But we can give you Cloud.
Yeah. And I mean, and this is, again, I want to get to the actual announcement and everything, but I mean, Nintendo knows how big of a deal this was, to the point where even after Cloud and Sephiroth, it's like, if this is still on the table, we're still biting it. That's why we're still going. Well, and I don't care.
And leading up to it, like, I didn't want to get my hopes up too much, because there was a thing that a 4chan link that turned out to be real, like just straight up real. Yeah. And yesterday I listened to like more of the stuff behind it. I'm like, okay, this seems a little more legitimate, but I was trying not to get my hopes up too much. And the more Sakurai was kind of talking this up compared to other ones, I'm like, okay, at the very least, if it's not Sora, this feels like a bigger deal. Like like, I know we can, look at Nintendo as a whole being tone deaf, but the way he was talking, I had trouble seeing it being like Cinderace at that point. Like maybe it could have been Jonesy because that is technically a big thing, but I couldn't see it being Cinderace at that point.
Yeah.
Just the way he was talking.
Yeah.
But he did end on the biggest note.
It's just wild. It's an end of an era. It's so crazy. But the actual announcement, the trailer was hype as hell.
Oh yeah,
of course. I mean, as we all 100% knew it would be.
Yeah, just starting with like how it began with Smash Open with the Flame and Smash thing, including everyone there, including DLC characters like Sephiroth is kind of prominent throughout the whole thing, for instance. So it's like all that's cool. They all turn into trophies, and like your mind goes racing at this point. It's like, and people said like a couple different things, and I understand. Like my mind went to the same place, and I agree wholeheartedly. When they turn into trophies, you're like, is it Taboo or Master Hand?
Yeah, I was starting to think Master
Hand.
Like
I don't think it'd be a bad thing necessarily.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, if they ended with a Smash character as the final character, like that could have been cool. And then once the fire fell down, it's like Maximilian dude was 100% convinced it was Dark Souls, and I understand that completely. My mind went there too. And a bunch of other people's did, and my mind also went to Cinderace. Like he was about to come up and kick that fireball.
Like all right.
I'm glad it's not that, but when Mario threw that, I saw the way it was from, because that is a way that is attack from Kingdom Hearts.
Of course, Jeff definitely sees it like 3 seconds before anyone else, because I was like, okay, yeah, fireball. What is that?
Yeah, and then when the shape started appearing, and then obviously when the key change shows, everyone's like, oh, fuck. And then just the way the keyhole opens up and Sword coming in.
I mean, they treat it like a big fucking deal. It's cool.
Simple and Clean starts playing. It's
and just with the whole roster there, I mean, it was like boom. Like
No, I mean this, and again, even if I know there were doubters for like if this was gonna be a Smash character, they're gonna announce one. Like the way even Sakurai was leading up to the trailer, but that trailer, it's like, no, this is a final trailer for this game.
Yeah, it's hype as hell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then so we actually also did get to see his gameplay. What did you think about it?
I like it a lot. It looks great. We'll get this out of the way now. There's no Disney stuff besides the Mickey Mouse shaped keychain, which, when obviously since I've been here, we've talked about the potential of Sora, and we've agreed before that there is odds are if Sora did get in, there'd be no Disney. We'd be maybe if we're lucky, Donald Goofy would appear in a Final Smash or something.
Yeah, the part of me was hoping that if they made it as far as like going through the negotiations and getting him in here, that we would also like at that point, like you obviously there's no way to get him in here without talking to Disney. I was just hoping that like if they got that far, maybe they could get
a little bit some people pointed out for the Disney stuff, even like compared to Sora, which obviously because it is Disney, it's a hurdle. Like Mickey and Donald and Goofy's rights are crazy just because there are a lot of different aspects, like people who kind of hold stuff to it. And so I get it.
It probably would have been that, like, even if Disney is like quote unquote okay with it, it's probably like, okay, well, if you're gonna have Donald and Goofy, there's all these other contracts that have been signed for them, and like this person has to play them. Oh, this person, they're like insanely expensive. So is this other person. It's like, oh, this, it's like. Or like it could be as like, oh no, he's reached his quota of things that Goofy can be in. It'll have to be next year.
Yeah,
and it'll be like, all right, well we're still it could be stupid shit like that.
Yeah, no Disney stuff was expected, and I saw some people like, if there's no Disney, what's the point? And I'm like, you guys are wrong.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts has established itself.
Kingdom Hearts in this 20 years has gone beyond just being that crazy Final Fantasy crossover with Disney. It's like the people who love Kingdom Hearts love it for more than Disney at this point. They love it for the characters and the general world, as not much nonsense as it is.
I thought there was a chance that like they just they lean into the Kingdom Hearts and like kind of sidestep the Disney stuff on purpose, but like the fact that even you were saying that thing in the background, like normally Donald and Goofy's face would be on that thing and it's not, that's like, okay, this is not purposeful at all. This is like y'all can't do that.
Yeah,
like,
but getting back to his moveset, it is very like obvious, and it makes sense between the stage being like Kingdom Hearts 1 Hollow Bastion and his default costume being Kingdom Hearts 1. It is very Kingdom Hearts 1 inspired. Like, it's focused, very like melee heavy, and like his moves and all that. And with all these DLC characters, Sakurai has been saying, okay, what can I do is different? What makes Sora different, and he is a combo fiend. He is flying through the air. He is hitting you in a million different ways. And Darby, I cannot express you how happy it is, like, because those animations are like 1-for-1 from Kingdom Hearts. Nice. Like, just the combos and just how they go into it. Like, the animation, the way Sora look is just fantastic. Like, it is a perfect replication.
Hell yeah.
It is insane. And obviously, he has his own stuff, like other stuff besides just having crazy combos. He spent a lot of time on those 3-hit combos. He has his normal special being the rotation of magic, which it is kind of funny that Sora has more magic than the actual Final Fantasy characters. Rotating through,
but not as much as Hero. So
true. Between fire, thunder, and ice magic, and it does rotate. You got to use one to get to the other one. And they do look pretty crazy. Like, and you can spam it. Like, he showed you, like, you can spam Fireball, but once you stop pressing that button, that's when it will switch.
Okay, interesting.
And he even showed us time where it's like, you probably want to use some moves, a move in particular, but you just used it. This is how you do it. Then you just spam the fire and ice to get to lightning again.
Nice.
Because lightning looks insane.
Yeah, like 3 strikes coming down in front of you.
Look pretty powerful. Like, a lot of Sora's moves look pretty powerful. And then his side B is also insane because it's like it's kind of like Pikachu and Pichu's up B, where you kind of they do like a couple little dashes, but Sora gets 3 of them and has like complete control of it. Like, it looks like it's a lot easier to control than Pikachu and Pichu's. And it's obviously its best recovery move, and Sakurai said straight up, like, the best way to do it is when recovering is to do your up B, then use the side B. So you can go one directly into the other, and pretty much what I can tell, unless you're in a crazy situation, as long as you're not dead, you can recover from about anywhere. Like, his recovery looks to be that good, which I think is a cool thing for Sora to have. And I think the balancing was they made Sora probably one of the lightest characters in the game. He is lighter than Isabelle and he used Young Link, I think, as an example.
Yeah.
So,
which is wild, but I actually kind of appreciate it because, like, I mean, it's nice that heavy characters have been viable in Ultimate, but I feel like we've gotten too many of them.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any complaint about, like, the DLC characters or whatever it is, I just feel like we've gotten a lot of, like, I mean, Pyre and Myth are kind of both, but it's like, but like, we've just gotten a lot of, like, Byleth is like a heavy, like, hits like a truck, kind of like slower character. And
Sephiroth is pretty.
Sephiroth's also the same thing. Yeah, like
Steve thinks decently heavy.
He is decently heavy too. I mean, like, the whole game skews heavy, so it was like kind of cool to have.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you.
Mobile, like,
especially the second pass has been, again, besides like Myth, for a pretty on the heavy side, so getting like an extreme light character that looks like it'd be flying over around the place doing heavy. I really like about
squishy as hell. So
but what I like about the side B is when you're close to someone, it like I'm sure there's a way to kind of make sure it doesn't do this. I'm not sure if he said so. Like, auto locks on them, so and it has a little lock on icon for like Kingdom Hearts and all that.
He did that in the air at the top of the screen, and just like juggled someone all the way up.
People are immediately like, especially since the last character game is like Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, it does feel that way. It does work like the Bayonetta.
But it'll probably be more balanced because he will be so squishy.
Yeah. He's probably not going to be an easy character to pick up. He'll probably just die real fast.
Well, I think it might be more easier because, at least from a basic moveset, I think Isaguro is kind of like, compared to other DLC characters, he specifically said Sora is supposed to be more of an easy pick up and play character. So, and I think that you might be right. It might be a little harder than Sakurai made it seem because he's so squishy.
Or at least if you're going against good people and you're not up to snuff, you might be.
His moveset and mechanics are obviously relatively simple compared to most other DLC characters we have gotten. Which it is funny that my 2 dream characters, Sora and Banjo, that I've been wanting forever, are the ones that I would argue, are the most simple characters in the DLC besides like
Simple
one move.
is certainly not bad.
Yeah.
In these games.
Some other stuff. Let's see here related to it. Ooh, let's talk about the costumes real quick.
Yeah.
The alt colors. Instead of alt colors, what they did, and obviously I love this, is just having the costume for different game. His default's 1, color 2 is from 2, Dreamed Out Distance 3. Then it goes into the Wisdom and Valor form, and then the Ultimate form, and then the Timeless River skin. So good. I imagine that had to do a little convincing because it is straight up from a 1930s Mickey Mouse world.
Disney type thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, it is still Sora, but stylized, but it's obviously hinting towards that. So
yeah.
But I love it.
It's awesome.
What I had noticed in my reaction that they skipped color 5 because he was naming them all. I'm like, wait, what's color 5? Yeah. And then Sakura was like, oh, I bet you weren't even at color 5. I was like, yeah, I am. But my mind immediately went to Roxas.
Yeah.
Then I saw that. I was like, okay, this is fine.
That was good.
Can't be too greedy.
Really sweet.
Absolutely, we get that sweet Kingdom Hearts music in here.
Yeah.
Though they were somewhat limited.
Some glaring omissions.
Well, people have rightfully pointed out part of the reason for stuff like Simple and Clean and Dearly Beloved and the like, because those are Hikaru Tada songs.
Is that just too expensive or something?
Yeah, because apparently people who are more in the know, it seems like Disney doesn't own the rights to those, or at least not completely, like the rest of the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack. Yeah. Hikaru at least owns, in her record management, whatever, at least owns a good chunk of it.
That's annoying. It was in the trailer. Just give them to...
Yeah, unfortunately, games and trailer things are different. No. I'll take the emotional trailer with Simple.
Yeah.
Because that gets me every time.
I would have loved to have heard the Smash battle remix of Simple and Clean. It would have been more nearly loads.
So good.
Dope. All Kingdom Hearts music is good. So.
Yeah. Also, something I love from the moveset presentation is because there are a lot of things in this that Sakurai did, because this is the final showcasing character and all that, is when showing off the move case, he literally went in order, like the character numbers, like on the website and the character select screen to showcase Sora's attacks.
The release order, the order of their announcement thing.
He went down the line, and what was really cool, and I got to even more so than ever applaud the planning out for this showing moves, because there are sometimes when they show stuff off, it fit the character they hit on so perfectly, because they had a counter or something or other. It's it only really works we were just planning because of that.
They had so much more planning than it looks like on the title when you think about it. I mean, it's just another thing where it's just I've never had a game, and we never will, since, where it just feels like the people making this game or releasing this stuff just completely understand what nerds and everything are gonna love about this shit.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we're probably not gonna see this too much because I think it's just stock only, or sorry, HP only. Is the victory thing when Sora kills someone in HP mode. It is the fade to white thing in freeze frame or whatever, and the music sound effects from boss fights in the Kingdom Hearts series.
Pretty sweet.
Love that shit.
And stage.
Yep. And the stage, Hollow Bastion, going into Dive to the Heart. So in some ways, obviously, it doesn't change the format of the way the stage actually, the platforms and all that. But visually, But it's kind of like two stages in one in a way. Just, again, doesn't change the formation. Because, it moves around Hollow Bastion, then it just, once the match is getting closer in, changes to Dive to the Heart, and just in the background, it will change between the different Keyblade wielders. And at first I was like, how weird, no Kairi as one of the characters in the background. But then people pointed out all these are official things, but for some reason Kairi doesn't have one yet. And honestly, because of Kingdom Hearts, that will probably become plot relevant later. Also, more so than any other series, Smash is gonna be canon to Kingdom Hearts. You're gonna have to do his arcade mode to understand Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
You're probably freaking right. That's funny.
Yeah. So stage is great. I am okay with it being a simple stage.
No. I mean, like it's. I feel like this is as hype for you as like Northern Crater was for me when I was. I'm like, what the fuck? We're just watching it.
Yep. And what's good for I'm sure you kind of felt the same way. Good for me and you. It's easier to pick that stage when we're playing with friends because it doesn't have bullshit. So it's like I can just pick it. Let's throw on Kingdom Hearts music.
I like a simpler stage, but they were able to do something crazy within a simple stage, which I appreciate. Yeah.
And finally, as far as the presentation, I think that's the last thing regarding Amiibo. They announced, Steve. They kind of showed it off. Sephiroth, Pyramithra, and Kazuya are getting Amiibo, but they didn't really say anything about Sora. And the way they announced it made it look like maybe he wasn't, which Disney.
Yeah,
makes sense. So I'm gonna get those Pyramithra ones.
Well, Jeff, let's very quickly rank this bad boy.
Rank the significance.
Because if you don't know, where'd it go? Oh no. Somewhere back a while ago on this podcast, we did a ranking for the Smash Ultimate trailers.
Yes.
Sorry, Jeff. You set this up while I correct.
Yeah. We did our rankings after Sephiroth. Inspired that because the trailer was so fucking good. And so after Pyra / Mithra and Kazuya, we have added them to it. Funny enough, like roughly the same spot.
Yeah. And this is and Smash trailers are just such a big part of me and Jeff's identity.
Yeah.
our friendship and the reason why we're doing this podcast. So.
So I think what we'll do here, especially since this is the final one, just so I'm not repeating myself too much, we'll rank Sora. I know there'll be people at first, but then afterwards I'll go in order and say what they all are. That may take a little time, but this is the final one. Yeah. For audio listeners.
If audio listeners, if you do go to the video, we have them visually up here. But
and depending when you're looking, I don't know, we can be lazy sometimes. It'll probably be up on our Twitter account at some point.
All right, let's settle one thing. It's S.
Yeah.
Let's settle that.
I was going to take nothing less. I was going to fight you.
Let's settle that from the start. For me, it is the starting point is after everyone is here is the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
And we debate whether to go above that or not. Below, one below everyone is here. Is do you agree? There's no way it's.
Yeah.
There's no way it's under the Palatino or something.
Well, here's the thing. In my heart is number one. But
I'm not even arguing against that. I'm saying there's no way that either of us think it should be less than that, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, it starts there. Now I will accept arguments from here.
So potential argument for at least going over everyone is here as far as the significance of it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I know I am biased here. But so part of the significance of everyone is here is more than, obviously the way it was done, but because it signified everyone being there and how good that was. I think what helps take the Sora one up above, obviously potentially take a step above some of the other ones like Palutator and Simon, which are obviously S-tier trailers because we put them there, is the fact this trailer obviously is the final one. They went in knowing that, and they took advantage of that, showing the last thing we saw during the first Smash Ultimate trailer, going in and just everyone being there, everyone who's been announced since, and all that, and just kind of going into that and kind of playing with you a little bit who it was, because we talked about who it could. I'm sure Sakurai at least planned to us maybe thinking it was like Master Hand or Taboo or something with the whole trophy thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he, thought we would go Dark Souls probably.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
And all that. And then it just going into to Sora. Coming and flying around over all the characters and all that, just to this being the final character and the music and all that.
For sure.
And then obviously the gameplay part, which, they didn't show till the end of the thing, I think is, really good. Even compared to some of the other ones, just the stuff they showed and all that. And obviously, it's not CG like the Sephiroth trailer, like the Sephiroth Cloud fight, but we did get the Sephiroth v Sora in that. referencing the Sephiroth boss fights.
Absolutely did. We'll adjudicate that in a minute. Like that'll be the real conversation. I am willing to put it over Everyone Is Here. I think personally I would put I think I would most of the time put Everyone Is Here ever so slightly above Sora. Mm-hmm. But I am willing to put it there. I mean, part of it, it's just what it meant, and like what we'll get to with the next one with Sephiroth. The only thing that like has some negative to Sora to me in comparison to Everyone Is Here, but especially the Sephiroth trailer, is like, which let's just go ahead and do the Sephiroth trailer.
Okay.
The reason why, and obviously I'm biased here, but the reason why I like put the Sephiroth trailer above is because I think one thing that trailer does is like just as hype as the Sora trailer. They're both just like the epitome of hype.
Yeah.
I think the Sephiroth trailer was like completely leaning into and like showing who Sephiroth as a character is, because it was like this final boss that was like, in that the original Ultimate trailer or whatever is this like a story trailer, is this like crazy force that like kills everyone in the roster. Nothing to this guy, just slaughters it. And I feel like that immediately who the fuck Sephiroth is. Yeah. The only thing I would say against the Sora trailer is like that was really hype with the toys and the setting up everything. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily like, it's hype because it's the final character and Sora is such a big deal. It doesn't necessarily like lock in there with like it could have been someone else.
Yeah,
it's cooler that it's Sora, but that whole setup could have been for another hype character, whereas this setup was distinctly, oh fuck, it's Sephiroth's here. That is why I would put Sephiroth slightly above the Sora trailer.
No, good point. I was going to concede either way, but no. Well, it's easy to argue that beyond my bias for it, especially since if we're looking at it from a objective standpoint, even like the CG parts of it, Sephiroth stuff was just so well done. That's how it flowed in and out of the CG part into the gameplay. Which Sora,
it was a straight up movie scene.
Yeah. And Sora did the CG part, went to gameplay, and then went back to CG for what is now my wallpaper.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
The Sora shaking Mario's hand with the Smash symbol in the background and all the characters there, which
so hype.
Is my one of the most iconic images from Smash.
It's great. It's so fantastic. No,
I will take my win putting it right below Sephiroth.
There's no shame. No shame in being...
Hey, the top two are Sephiroth and Sora.
Just praise to Sakurai. Holy shit.
Praise to Nomura.
Oh my god. Yep. Whew, baby.
Can you believe we got Sora and Sephiroth on the same pass?
What is this game? What the hell
it is over, though. I mean, we still got about 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, some other fun little things, Darby, just real quick before we move on. You've heard of that there, Organization 13, right?
Yes.
So fun facts. Sora's coming out 13 days after the this video. And also, his update's gonna be version 13.
Oh my god!
It was all there.
They knew it.
The moment we saw the date when they announced the Mii costume, we should have known.
Oh boy! Should have known.
Yep.
Organization 13 is always behind us.
Yep.
Well, there it is, number 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. So I'll go read through them real quick. I'll start from the bottom and go all the way up. About that.
All right.
And then we will move on. Our C tier, because there are no bad trailers in Smash.
No, there's none.
Yeah. I'm going to go from what we consider the worst to the best in them. C tier, Pac-Man, Ryu, Sonic, Corrin, Wii Fit Trainer, and Isabelle. Our B tiers, Shulk, Villager, Piranha Plant, Greninja, Duck Hunt, Robin, Cloud, Mega Man, Bowser Jr., the Brawl reveal trailer where they revealed Zero Suit, Meta Knight, Pit, etc. I think we counted Snake in there too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just not on this picture thing I had. And Bayonetta. Our A tier, which is pretty big, Little Mac, which I think I think it's a very good midpoint. Little Mac, Rosalina and Luma, the ultimate reveal trailer with Inklings, Incineroar, Byleth, Steve, Min, Ridley, Pyra/Mifra, Kazuya, Mii Fighters, King K. Rool, Joker, Hero, Terry, Banjo, and Kazooie. And now for our top 5 in S tier.
There we go.
Simon and Richter, Palutena, everyone is here, Sora, and number 1 Sephiroth.
What a game. What a freaking game. This is one of the most proud things. Just like going back through this made me remember how much fun that was. Just like watching through all of those and ranking those. And I feel good about our tiers here. Like, I think the praise, I feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, Darby, I had to put you on the spot here, but we should. It's been a while. When Sora comes out, we should stream Smash.
We should. Yeah, we absolutely
It's
should.
been a bit.
It's just, this game is legitimately the reason why we're doing this podcast. It's like been, again, so much of our identity and why we love video games. And I think we are not alone. There's a whole generation where like Smash is just, it's just, it was built different,
Yep.
It's crazy. Which is so mean for us to talk about right before. Or to go right to not that this game is good. This game is good. It's just like I literally just said it's built different, and now we're about to talk about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, baby.
And yep, it's out today. Unfortunate timing.
Very unfortunate.
Sucker, I did it on purpose.
Brutal. Just trying to bury him.
So yeah, the game's out. We haven't played too long of it. I probably only have, I don't know, somewhere between an hour and 2. You've played a handful of matches.
Yeah, like 4 matches total.
Yeah. So very early impressions. It probably won't take too long, but we'll obviously have more as time goes on. But I will talk about leaks real quick after we're talking about impressions.
Just briefly before we really probably next week have the meaty discussion. How do you feel about this game as a Smash alternative, like another, because it's a genre that, for as much as we love Smash, it's just it's the only one really that ever really people have tried a little bit here and there and died immediately. How do you feel?
There are a couple of ones I was saying. I said Rival of Ethers has done really well for itself.
Yeah, it's not literally the only one, but there's very few.
Yeah, as far as one that can kind of be like a tier or the closest thing to a tier lore, I think Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl has the most potential, if anything, because pedigree of the developer, because Lap City's really good, and because of Nickelodeon license, and based on what we played so far, I think this is the very good first step for that, because I think again, the little I played, the gameplay is really solid. It took a little bit of adjusting to me, and I'm still doing it, because I'm with these platform fighters, I'm so used to Smash, that's just where my brain's at, that it's takes my time for my brain to readjust to jumping on a button, and then the fact that light and heavy attacks are going to be on separate buttons.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, so that takes a little time. Besides that, and liking what I'm playing so far, it feels good to play. Like once I started adjusting to it, it feels good to move and all that. And I think the characters are, obviously cool. I'm excited to get in there to kind of find the differences between move sets and all that, because this was a plan from the developer. A lot of people's light and heavier attacks are kind of similarish, but once we dig in, we'll find those differences a lot more. But I'm very impressed with what I've played so far.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the design philosophy, it's going for more of a competitive angle, but not to a crazy degree. It's still wacky and goofy and doing all those other things. But I think it's while there is definitely variety in there, it's some of the things like the neutral game, which is more important in this game than it is in Smash, I think, whereas specials are maybe more important in Smash. It is very similar between the characters, which I think is intentional, and I don't think is a bad thing. It is a game that I do think is held back by its budget.
Oh yeah,
I think it's doing the best it can with the resources that it had, but it's abundantly clear. I don't even think you have to be well versed in these games to immediately be like when you play this game, you're gonna go ooh a few times. Like when you see some models or see something, you're about it's not the prettiest game. It's not consistent. There are times it looks way better than others. There are some stages that legitimately just look like a good stage for one of these things, and there's other ones that look like it's half done, like it was a test version,
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The budget's going to be what holds us back more, and I feel for the developers because I think they've like I joked about this beforehand, but I think it is definitely true. That shot of the keychain in the Sora trailer, the Mickey keychain, costs more than this whole game's development budget.
And like it's
you can't convince me otherwise.
Absolutely true.
So yeah, I think they've done a really good job with what they have, and the developers have been very candid about things. Like they're listening to all these complaints with stuff like should be in the game, like voices and stuff. They agree. They tried for that stuff. You can tell, but it's not up to them.
It was just unfortunately. I almost wish that I understand what they were trying to do with the we're gonna announce this game very close to release date or whatever, very small day. I almost wish they didn't, so they would have had more time to be like, oh, look at the reaction to this damn trailer. Let's get some more budget into this.
Well, the thing is, they still could have done that because the release date technically wasn't announced, but I'm guessing someone at Nickelodeon was like, no, this is the date we decided it has to come out.
Yeah. But that said, the game is good, and I am far from an expert in these things, and this is not the type of game I'm super competitive with. I Smash is one of my most played games of all time, and I love it to death. But would far from call me a super competitive Smash player type person. So, I don't really play Rivals of Ether or anything else like that. So it's I'm not really in a space to speak on that. But I would say just for me, I am really enjoying it. I'm going to enjoy playing it with y'all. But for me, I don't even know if it's just. I don't exactly know what it is, but there's things like PlayStation All-Stars that I love and adore. I think it kind of has that the 3-level super system or whatever that was a gimmick that I really enjoyed and made that at the time. I really do think that it was neck and neck with Smash Bros as far as enjoyment because it had that gimmick that was it was like Smash Bros, but it had this very striking thing that I enjoyed that steered away from Smash Bros. And I don't at least for my personal enjoyment, this game doesn't necessarily have that. It feels it just feels like it feels like a different Smash, but not in a striking cool way for me that's gonna be sticky for me. I see this being a game that I dabble in with y'all, but I'm not gonna spend time and grind myself because I don't feel like I'm getting a different enough experience for my casual enjoyment, if that makes sense. I don't. It's not a full form thing. It just doesn't jump out to me quite as much.
No, I can feel you. If you're not getting hardcore in this stuff, it's this is like Smash in a lot of ways, but doesn't have the other stuff of Smash. Some of the stuff, and the good bit of that does have to do with the budget.
I think it does. I think these things are connected. Yeah. That feeling, again, is connected.
You said it when we were playing on the couch, and I think there are a lot of people like you, and even me to a point. You're more excited for the potential sequel of this game than this game.
I am. Yeah, I am.
Because I completely understand that. In some ways, I am too. Because if this thing does well and they make a sequel and actually get an actual budget for this game, the potential of that is huge, especially they already have the backbone for it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very damn solid backbone.
Right. I mean, the unfortunate thing is this is proving something that I think we all already knew, that there's a big audience for something like this if it's made well or whatever. And it kind of sucks that it seems like this game has to go out with no support whatsoever as far as they made a good game out of nothing here with no resources. And I just wish that it's guys, we could have done the market research and figured that out a long time ago and given this the budget that it was.
And the thing is the people behind it being surprised. I don't think Ludosity was surprised.
No.
And those people in Fair Play Labs, which was worked with Ludosity a lot to actually make the game. No. It was Game Mills, the publisher, and Nickelodeon that seemed to be surprised.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Ludosity partly got on this thing, even despite the budget. Okay, this could be good. This could be big for us.
Yeah,
and I think it is.
Even if we're not getting any budget, it's Nintendo. Or I keep doing that. It's Nickelodeon. It's this has potential.
But the good news is, as far as Nickelodeon or whoever is in charge of the decisions for this game, obviously sees how people are ready for it before release and all that, and before the game released, greenlit DLC. And they were like, okay, yeah, now that we are working on it beyond the release, we can look at some of these changes to make they mentioned animations and stuff. Like they agree that some of the animation are too snappy. Like it immediately you were talking about them being like differences between the characters, like how they look and stuff. That is definitely true. Some characters definitely look like in different ways, more worked on than other ones. Yeah. And animations is part of that. We're even talking about we're gonna try to fix that stuff.
I mean, I hate to sound so pessimistic, but it feels like an early access game in a lot of ways. And the way it looks like, and I was telling Jeff, when we were playing, it makes you have even more appreciation. Not that we needed more. It makes you have even more appreciation for what Smash has done. Which again, it's not really an insult to Nickelodeon All-Stars, but Smash, it's fucking bonkers that it has 80-something characters from everything from Duck Hunt Dog to freaking Snake and Sephiroth. And they all make sense in this game. When they're sitting beside each other, you're not laughing at it. It's just they're Smash. It looks like Smash characters. And it doesn't look like that. Sometimes, Jump Force is a good example of we're going to make everyone look like the same art style. And because we did that, everyone looks bad. Everyone
looks... JoJo characters for some reason.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Everyone looks off because we changed them. And that's one bad way of doing it. This is the other bad way, is we're not going to change them at all. So then they look completely out of place next to each other, which is what I think Nickelodeon All-Stars does. Smash, by some witchcraft, has the perfect blend of both, where they all look like a Smash art style, but they also still look like you would expect them to look. And I don't know how the fuck they did it. It's just it's witchcraft. And this is a good example when I was you had 4 players on the screen, and I'm like, this just doesn't look good. It looks like a fan made type thing when you have that or whatever. And I mean, they can't help it. I mean, it's just Smash is just ridiculous. Smash is absurd with this type of shit. So it's almost not fair. But I think gameplay wise, people are gonna really like it. I think to me, it just doesn't feel as fun to play. And there's certain things Overwatch has this a lot too, where Overwatch can be just as good mechanically as some other shooters, Battleborn and things like that. It's the little things that you don't think about that Overwatch does so fucking well, audio design, where it's exactly what you can feel what's happening, even if you don't know you don't know that you're getting those cues from audio or from other things around you or from visual cues, but you are. Smash has the same thing. When you get hit, you know what a big hit versus a small hit feels like. In this game, I don't feel like I do. I feel like a lot of times a hit feels like the same thing, and then I'm dead. I'm like, and it's I don't even know how they do it, but Smash is able to do that. You get that feel for the game just by the way that your character, the sound versus boom, it's that there's a difference there. And I think that's budget and craft. This is just a hard thing you can't manufacture that. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just talk more about the game as we get more experience with it. But before then, talk about some quick leaks real quick. If people data mined it, won't go over all of it, but they talked about 2 characters that are coming out shortly before it, and the data mining has kind of pretty much confirmed who those 2 are. Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Garfield.
Wild chip.
Yep. Wild chip. Finally, the dream matchup that everyone wanted in Smash, SpongeBob v. Garfield.
We fucking did it, guys.
We finally did it. Alrighty. Let's move on to more news.
More news?
More news. Jingle jangle, more news.
Jingle jangle, more news.
Guess somewhere was technically news.
Mo news, mo problems.
Got some TGS News Roundups. Got some headlines. We can talk as little as much as we want. First thing, Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is coming March 18th, and the game also includes new metal.
As we all saw. We all are acutely aware.
Yes. Wasn't actually in the trailer. It was in the demo. Just watch the trailer and be like, wait, what?
I hadn't even seen the trailer, but I've seen that.
Yeah. The trailer definitely looks better. They definitely try to stay away from saying chaos. But it did confirm that... What's the guy's name? I don't know, John.
Tom or John or something.
Yeah, I'm going with John. His last name's Garland. So he's connected to related to the villain.
This game is like looks unbelievably bad. It's like hard to like believe.
Again, the thing is, the gameplay is pretty solid, but
at a certain point, it doesn't matter. At a certain point.
No, what's getting at is
everything else.
With everything else, could it be so bad it's entertaining?
I mean, it very well could be. I'm not gonna spend any of my money on it, but I will watch like Max play this for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think Square calls that a success, but I will watch Max play this whole thing and just watch him groan over and over again.
Can't wait for it to be goaty.
I mean, it feels like a fake ass game. It's insane.
It's a fever dream.
It's a fever dream.
Like Sora feels like a fever dream, but this feels like a fever dream in a bad way.
Remember back in the podcast when we were talking about like the Souls-like Final Fantasy 1 game? And
yeah.
Wow. Wait, how did we get here?
Again, they got the gameplay down. I think it had an actual good tone.
It's just crazy. It shows you that good gameplay can save you a lot of times, but not always.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier will be available on iOS and Android devices in November 2021.
Yep.
Apparently a trailer for it, but... So there's a guy that looks like Sephiroth.
It's going to be story relevant.
It's true. Iodine Chronicle, how do you pronounce it? Rising gets a first gameplay reveal, and it's coming spring 2022.
Is this the sweet in the game?
It's well, okay. It is and it isn't. This is the thing for it, but it is the prequel game, which is like a side scroller, not beat 'em up, but action game.
Right.
And I watched that footage. Looks pretty good. It definitely kind of I think it looks pretty solid. It definitely kind of looks like one's like, okay, this wasn't obviously from a series that wasn't planned as this in some ways, but they got like a kangaroo for giant swords, so I'm in.
All right. Yeah.
Plus, also
that tracks.
Game Pass.
Also tracks.
Yeah. So I am excited for this series in general, even if like I don't end up not caring for this one as much. I'm very excited for the regular game.
I'm definitely more excited for the Tweaking one, but I should look into this. So you cut out
again, it's on Game Pass. I think it's supposed to set up some characters. So yeah. Monster Hunter Rise comes to Steam in January 2022. Also, I'm going to bring this up, Darby. What do you think one of the biggest things Capcom should have announced for this have been? The Steam release. Like something they should have already have confirmed and have told people. What do people who are playing it on Switch
support?
Cross save.
Oh yeah.
Apparently they have not confirmed this, and in fact they did a survey asking people if there should be cross save.
What the fuck do you think people are gonna say?
Cross save and cross play.
No, we don't want it.
Yeah, it's like that should be a #1 priority because the people who your biggest supporters will want that.
But why would you even? What asshole would put that in the survey? No.
Yeah.
They just want to see how many people care enough. But I'm like, it still seems like when you thought that would be a thing, it's really just like the big PC devs like Divinity Original Sins devs and like
Witcher did it, I think too.
I count them all.
Yeah.
I
know. I was saying games.
It's really just Larian Studios and CD Projekt Red. They're like, I know there's more examples, but not many.
The other main examples are games, kind of similar to that.
I think like Disco Elysium might have it too.
So just do. I mean, here's the thing: cross save will sell you more copies because there are going to be plenty of people that see no cross save and will not buy the Steam version, but will buy it because there's cross save because they don't want to do everything again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people that's like, I really want to play the Steam version. No, I'm not starting from the beginning. Are you crazy? It's like,
oh, you have this big expansion coming out. I want to play that on PC, game. But I don't want to play everything again to get there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a no-brainer. Just come on.
Staying on the Monster Hunter train, Monster Hunter Showcase revealed Sonic and Ghost and Goblin collaborations. For Ghost and Goblin, you just play as Arthur. And Sonic, who the fuck knows? I'm hoping you either play as Sonic and hunt monsters or you hunt Sonic.
That's what I want.
It's gotta be one of those. If not, I'm sad.
Yeah, all the Monster Hunter collaborations are always really cool. So.
Yeah. You literally just have Rush in there. It's so good. Tango Gameworks is developing a new game, and the Evil Within 2 director is leading. So this could just mean it's an Evil Within 3. Who knows?
Hebrew would be happy.
True.
And future Jeff will be happy when you play those games at some point, maybe.
True. They are on Game Pass, which helps my chance of playing them. Speaking of Game Pass, Scarlet Nexus, AI the Somnia Files, and Mighty Goose are headed to Xbox Game Pass.
Mighty Goose.
I think I've seen that Easy Allies play it, and I remember it looking pretty good. Obviously,
is it better than Untitled Goose Game?
Probably. Obviously, I love AI the Somnia Files, so I think people should check that out. And Scarlet Nexus is like, no, I'm not that I was most interested, but glad I waited if I ever decide to play it for some reason. Just play it on Game Pass without paying.
That's right.
Yeah. Redfall, Starfield, and more Bethesda games in this case will be localized for Japan. So this is all from Microsoft's TGS showcase, and Todd Howard went out to make a big deal. I was like, for the first time, our games are going to be localized with Japanese audio and stuff for Japan.
So previous Bethesda games have come out. They just haven't.
I think so. Yeah, they just haven't been localized like that. So neat.
They're trying to get.
He also said Starfield has like 1 billion lines of dialogue.
Don't know if that's a sell or a.
It wasn't exactly 1 billion, but it was like 2 to 3 times more, I think, more than Skyrim.
That doesn't excite me. I don't know. Just makes you think your game's probably too big. But anyway.
King of Fighters 15 revealed its first all-new character, Isla. Pronounced Isla. Okay.
Just nope.
Isla from Easy Allies.
Isla from Easy. She's wrong. She has to change now.
Yeah.
We have to defend the pronunciation.
True. So nothing too crazy, but let's move on to a little Sony news, Darby. Sony news.
So I guess Final Fantasy 16 was not ready in time for TGS. As the guy was like,
Darby, did you just listen to the news I read? That's something significant.
You mean if that was there, we wouldn't have just blazed through all of TGS in like 5 minutes?
Easy to say, non-jokingly, Final Fantasy 16 would be its own headline we got trailer. But yeah, Sony acquired Bluepoint finally, or officially announced it. That's not surprising, but the more interesting tidbit of news, significant, but interesting tidbit of news is that Bluepoint is working on not a remake or a remaster, but its own original game.
Yeah. For the first time, right?
Yes. But something important that people, pointed out is they didn't say original IP. Yeah. So it could be, I don't know, Uncharted or some shit.
It could be, yeah. I kind of feel like it won't be. I have a feeling it's going to be a new IP.
Mm-hmm. I have no opinion necessarily one way or the other. Just throwing that out there as just like, it doesn't necessarily mean it.
Yeah. But it doesn't, either way. Happy for them.
Yeah. I am very curious because they've done obviously a very good job with like Shadow Colossus and Demon Souls, like again remaking these games and making them look and feel more modern and all that kind of stuff. And obviously making your own thing is a different can of worms.
It's different. But I feel like they have been slowly
amassing power.
Amassing power, yes. But also sacrificing souls to gain ethereal power in their magic.
So every time someone dies in Demon Souls.
Yes, yeah. No, they've been inching their way closer and closer to what is basically making a new game anyway. Yeah. Their remakes are starting to become like such huge projects on their own. I mean, like Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls were both like they had to create a whole lot of new assets. Obviously, obviously it was like based off the original game, but it's not like they just poured the assets over there and glossed them up some. It's like no, they had to make those environments and everything.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Like, I'm not worried from a technical thing. It's like, but it's a whole different thing of coming up with concepts and that kind of stuff.
For sure.
So
for sure.
That will be interesting. But I'm assuming that Sony knows whatever the hell they're working on, obviously, before buying them, because odds are they were working on it for them anyway.
I just really hope it's not a third-person open-world action-adventure game with RPG elements. Set in the post-apocalypse. really hope.
Man, I mean, just real talk real quick, that would be kind of disappointing. I haven't played these games, but since the remakes they have worked on are like Shadow Colossus and Demon Souls, them going to that kind of thing would kind of be disappointing, because with those two games, even if they are remakes and not quote unquote new games, that was filling a niche. Like, and one that's not being filled by like indifferent from the rest of Sony's first party offerings at the times of the releases. So hopefully it's I don't know what I mean by something in line with that, but it's hopefully something that, you know, feels a little more niche in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's something that we just can't predict right now. That would be the great thing. Yeah, too much of Sony is easy to predict, so I hope that that's the thing.
But Darby, could you predict this? According to Video Game Chronicles, the developers of Destruction All-Stars, Lucid, are working on a Twisted Metal game, and some are saying it might be free to play.
I kind of agree with. Dropping my thing I'm playing with. I agree with Kyle on delayed input. There are a lot of ways that, like, somehow against all odds, even though I don't think Twisted Metal has been relevant in many, many, many years, and honestly, even at its peak, I don't even know if it sold all that much, but for somehow, Sweet Tooth is iconic.
Yeah.
Like, a lot, like, if you showed
PlayStation All-Stars, of course.
Because of PlayStation All-Stars, if you showed Sweet Tooth to, like, somehow, again, against all odds, if you showed a bunch of random people on the street video game characters, I would be more confident in them knowing Sweet Tooth over a lot of other characters. Like, obviously, he's not like the tippy top, but he's up there somehow. Like, that like weird clown man has become very iconic, even though Twisted Metal has just really never been. So because of that, because that's a hard thing to do, having an icon like that is very, very difficult. People try very hard. They can't do it. Because of that, Twisted Metal will never die. This game might be complete shit. And even if it's complete shit, put it on the calendar. 8 years from now, they'll try it again.
Yeah.
But I have no interest, really.
Yeah, especially if it's free to play, because that just has a whole bunch of shit added onto it.
But you could get clown car skins.
True. Or they could do like the old days and just have those built into the game and just let me unlock them by playing the game.
No, Jeff, but your wallet unlocks them.
I guess.
Unfortunately, this one you'll probably have to pull out your wallet to get cars and characters and just
Shame.
And Destruction All-Stars was not like doesn't instill the most confidence in me either.
Yeah. But it's only a rumor right now. I think there's definitely potentially some credence here, because there is I don't think we talked about it, a Twisted Metal show coming out with Anthony Mackie. Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a very good chance of that Twisted Metal show somehow being like 10 times more popular in the games everywhere, just because for some reason people like that fiery clown boy.
True. But Darby, do you like Netflix acquiring studios?
Not particularly.
Well, too bad. Netflix has acquired Oxenfree developer Night School Studio.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of the same old song and dance that we preach here over and over again. It's just as soon as you're like gobbled up by any big corporation, especially a big corporation that does not have very much stake in your industry, that's just a dangerous place to be. Because like you were just the thing on a spreadsheet, and like new leadership comes in and they'll be like, and because this is a fledgling thing trying to get off the ground, and it's really fucking hard.
They're literally their only game studio
that's not good. And it's really, really hard to break into the video game industry. And if Netflix, like a year from now, new leadership takes over some financial thing or whatever, and they're like, well, why the fuck are we like hemorrhaging money here? Flick, it's just not a safe place to be.
No.
But while you're there, I'm sure you're getting more money for your projects than you did in the past. It's just, is it going to be worth it when you could just be, wiped away in an instant? So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's not all bad news, but it very easily.
I mean, obviously it's easy to be pessimistic about this because I am. But the non-pessimistic take is, well, at least as far as pairing goes, this is kind of an interesting one because, Night School is one of those things that try to focus on story.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with Netflix with a story.
Whoever made the Stranger Things game, is that not a dev that they own, or do they just own the property and license it out to someone?
I do not know the answer to that.
Okay.
I guess part of the reason I said what I said, I thought I saw the headline is they're something relating to this their first game studio.
You might be right. They might just license that out to someone else.
So I don't know about that. But obviously this means they're, at least Netflix is definitely attempting to get into the game. Like they took that next step. So whatever that entails.
I mean, so do you think that this ultimately Netflix wants this to have some compatibility with the Netflix service in some way? Like, I don't even know what that means, like playing the games through Netflix and streaming or making a show or something? Or do you think that this is just Netflix adding another revenue stream or something? Like,
I feel like Netflix, at least at some point, it will be integrated into their app.
Yeah.
One way or the other. I don't know how that, because I think, didn't they do that with Minecraft? Like the Minecraft story mode? Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. You might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of done that. I might be wrong.
They had that. Was it Netflix that did the whole Bandersnatch? Whatever the fuck that thing was with Black Mirror, where you could like make choices in the Netflix show. I think Netflix wants to have this interactive content shit.
Yeah.
So one day I do think they'll at least try to have streaming games.
Oh fuck, interactive Squid Game. Let's go.
Ooh, baby.
I'm gonna get everyone killed.
Let's go.
In the first game. All right, Darby. I guess then, being through these last couple of things, let's end it with other news.
Oh, their news. What if they made a no-see Netflix show?
Oh fuck. That'd be interesting. Mm-hmm. They might have to skip some.
And
some
you know who plays the dolphin in the thing?
Danny DeVito?
Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay, of course. Okay, let's start. We got a new Pokemon Legend Arceus trailer. They showed off some new characters and stuff. Some that are ancestors to characters that we know from the normal games. And all that. That's all fun and cool. Introduced the Warden and I forgot what they called the
Warden of the North.
Warden of the North. And they officially revealed trainer battles are in. So that's neat. But they also revealed a new Pokemon, Darby. They revealed Cleaver, a new evolution for Scyther.
He a bug boy.
He a bug boy with giant rock axe hands. Pretty cool.
That's how I love my boys with large giant axe hands.
Indeed. So they need to announce more of these evolutions and regional forms because I'll gobble them.
Give me Penguin Boy, but like even cuter.
They confirmed normal Penguin Boys in.
I mean, even normal Penguin Boy's new to me, so
yeah.
It's still
Penguin. But Darby, you said even cuter. How's that possible?
Yeah, it's true.
Don't worry, Darby. We can get Piplup in the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Fuck yeah.
We need to continue our Nuzlocke. Ed Boon will be at DC Fandom, leading people to believe Injustice 3 is inevitable. And if you might recall, we had the same conversation last year.
I was about to say, I mean, he could just come out and say, "Hey, I'm Ed Boon, and I just wanted to stand next to Chris Pratt and introduce this completely unrelated thing."
Yeah.
And I'm so big. I've been in this company so long they couldn't say no to me.
True. Well, the likely reason, I mean, there is a chance it could be an Injustice 3. Who the hell knows? But that Injustice movie is coming out, so it's more than likely that.
Yee.
Super Nintendo World is adding a Donkey Kong area in 2024.
Hey.
And finally, Bandai Namco is getting a new logo. Does not look good.
No, it's not. It looks very basic.
Like, these companies are weird. What was wrong with the one they've had?
I don't understand. Like, I actually like their logo a lot, and I really don't care about.
I mean, look at the Nintendo logo. When's the last time they changed that shit?
It's like great. Yeah.
I think the most they've done is they changed it from like gray to red or some shit.
Yeah, they have variations.
Yeah,
it's like basically the same. It's like I don't really care about most of these companies' logos, but I actually thought Bandai Namco was pretty good.
Yeah,
the little like the yellow thing, like, it was iconic.
Well, yeah, and I think it was a good one because you can kind of, without even reading the words at this point, you see it on a box like, oh, it's a Bamco game.
Yep, you know that. Now it's just white and pink, blank, generic font.
Like, I can't imagine that's going to be a logo we immediately recognize just at a quick glance.
Well, it could be anyone.
Yeah. Shame.
Don't understand it.
Well, that's the podcast.
That's a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and a good one at that.
Yep, and probably our shortest one in a million years.
Probably, but ain't no shame in that. Darby's sleepy.
Sure.
And I appreciate you for helping make it short. But it was very, very good.
Indeed.
Very, very good.
Got
Very
that
good discussion.
Sweet Sora in there.
We even talked about Nickelodeon All-Stars more than I thought we would, but it was a very good discussion. So really very cool. Well, if you want to hear us talk more about Nickelodeon All-Stars, stay tuned for next week. And we might be streaming it soon, who knows. And
Sylveon in a poncho.
Sylveon's out.
In a poncho.
And a fucking poncho.
So you look forward to Pokemon United pressure probably next week as well.
Cute.
For Mamoswine and Sylveon.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts quote?
Sora!
It's a good one.